not too close. Lower it a little bit, please. I think that's fine. Yes. Thank you very much. Ms. Gomez, you were here before?
Yes.
So you're here today to continue your testimony.
Very well.
We had discussed some preliminary issues, but we had not gotten into the crux of your testimony. Towards the end of the hearing, the last time when you were here, I had asked you, out of the list of 28 companies and organizations and charities that this committee had sent to you to provide information and updates on, you had informed this committee that you could not find documentation for all these 28 organizations and companies. You did promise this committee that you were going to continue the search and provide more information. Were you able to do this?
Very well, Council.
And where are the documents? You have them here?
Unfortunately, some of the documents could not be traced.
Your voice is very low. Please pull the mic a little bit closer to you so that it can be captured by the public and by the record. You could not find any documents?
I could not, beside the ones I submitted.
Did you search?
I did.
Are you sure?
I did. In fact, I was expecting that you were coming for the inspection order that was served on me, for you just to see the nature of our building.
You really want us to come and look at your records?
That's number one reason why I was not in a position to submit all.
Okay.
Initially, the ones I submitted, they are extracted from the database, but the additional ones I got them from some of the cabins inside the office.
No problem. So the committee still has intentions of visiting
no problem.
the Ministry of Justice, and we will do so. So now what we're going to do, you've submitted company analysis reports for some of the companies. But before we get into each one, before I continue what I wanted to say, did you bring your own copies of these documents that you have submitted to us?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, so now when I'm referring to a document, you can easily just use your own copy.
Okay.
All right. But before we get into these documents, there's a particular reason why we requested these documents, and I know that as the registrar of companies, it's clear to you why the committee is looking into these companies. These companies were identified by the Attorney General at the time in 2017. There were freezing orders placed on these companies, and the companies were put into the custody and control of a receiver, that is the Augustus Prom firm. Subsequently, at the end of the receivership, these companies were handed over back to the Ministry of Justice, who also appointed a receiver or according to the recommendations of the Jana Commission, the Ministry of Justice was supposed to appoint a liquidator that would start and complete the liquidation process for all of these companies and organizations that were sent to you. And if you look at volume 4 of the Jana Commission report, you would see the findings of the Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, which the government, through the white paper, subsequently accepted. So before you give this committee an update, I would want you to just explain to this committee what liquidation is, what the entire process entails, and what laws in this country govern liquidation, and what role does the registrar of companies play in the liquidation process? Gomez,
Yes.
I had asked you a question. I did say answer the question first before we get into the documents. Did you get the question?
Yes, I did.
Okay, please. The question is about in threefold. The question is the first part. Maybe let's break it into. Let me break it down. I had asked you to explain what liquidation is to the committee, and then after explaining that, you explain to the committee what the process of liquidation looks like, what happens during the liquidation process. And then the last part being what role does the registrar of companies play during the liquidation process.
Okay. Basically, I also have to make reference to the Companies Act because I can say everything of here.
Sure, that is not a problem.
Understand? You have a question?
Ms. Gomez, if when you're speaking to
Sorry, I need
your
to take
team, you need,
permission.
no, that, but also turn off the mic.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, liquidation per se is a procedure to wind up a company. And this is done through by appointing a liquidator who is in control of the company by trying to sell the assets of the company in order to be able to pay its debts. And maybe for those that are unable to meet their financial obligations per se. So I am aware that Augustus Prom was one time appointed a liquidator with respect to some of the companies that are associated with the former president or his close allies per se.
As a receiver.
As a receiver, yes.
Please continue.
So usually once a liquidator is appointed, he takes control of the business. So he tries to settle any outstanding contracts or debts or whatsoever in order to be able to set off the company's debts to those that are owed, in short.
Ms. Gomez, if you need a copy of the Companies Act, we can provide you with a copy, a hard copy. Is that what you would prefer? Are you done? Okay. I'm waiting for the answer. Sorry, your mic is not on.
I said appointment for a liquidator is provided for under Section 456 of the Companies Act.
Okay.
Yes.
What does that particular section say?
It says the creditors and the company may.
Sorry, you don't have to read it out.
Okay.
Just tell us basically what that provision says.
Basically, what it requires is that for a person to be nominated as a liquidator for the purpose of for the purpose of winding the affairs of the company, as well as be in a position to be able to distribute the assets of the company.
Okay. So the other part of my question that I had asked earlier.
Usually when a liquidator is appointed, he notifies the Registrar General of his appointment.
Registrar General?
Sorry, Register of Companies. Okay. Sorry, it's an error.
All right, and then?
Based on the correspondence I came across emanating from the then receiver, Augustus Prom, he sent in some correspondence requesting, informing the then registrar about his appointment and requesting for copies of some of the companies, meaning the documents of incorporation, the certificates here and there. Some are in respect of the company's assets like properties, etc. From the little correspondence I was able to gather.
Okay, let me clarify what we're doing here today.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, your testimony here today is to update us on the list of companies that was sent to you. What is their current status? If they had gone through liquidation, then you let us know that they had gone through liquidation. If they haven't gone through liquidation, are they still on the records of the registrar of companies or the company's registry? Are they still on the company's registry as existing entities, or are they off the registry? So basically that is what we're doing. And the reason I ask you to explain what liquidation is and the entire process, which you've started to explain, that once a liquidator is appointed, the first thing they should do is notify the registrar of companies about their appointment. So from then on, you just explain to us, and then we can get into these companies. So I know the last time we were here, we did discuss about AP, that's Augustus From, and the work they had done prior to the appointment, to the establishment of the commission, and to the point where the commission became defunct, right? So now that you've started explaining the liquidation process, what happens, or what should a liquidator do after notifying the registrar of companies? And apart from receiving notification of appointment, what other role does the registrar of companies play in the liquidation process?
I think one of the duties of a liquidator is to maybe summon a meeting here and there, and then is to call for a meeting of the company and the creditors, and then work on winding it up. If at the end of the day all is done, then it needs to be registered with the Registrar General. Maybe after the expiration of a specified period of time, then the company is deemed to be default. So it's deemed to be dissolved.
And when a company is deemed to be dissolved, does it come off the register? Is it removed from the register?
Basically, that's how it should be.
Okay.
But then, based on the list of companies you requested for, with respect to the documentations, basically none of these companies have been dissolved. Or even some of the other subsequent filings that were done in 2017, some of them were not even filed. That is why when you asked for, when I was served with the note, summons to produce, as part of your request, you said you asked whether if there have been any liquidation or whatsoever with respect to these companies. And I responded that there is nothing, because in the system, no entries have been done. Even the appointment of the receiver has not been filed in the system.
So when a receiver is appointed or a liquidator is appointed, it is reflected in the system once the notification is received.
Basically, any document that comes in for filing should be minuted, assigned to a particular staff, and then after it should be scanned and uploaded in the system. But unfortunately, in our system, there is not. And some of the companies are still in the system. They are yet to be struck off.
These companies, some of them have assets, and some of these assets have been sold, or we can say most of these assets have been sold.
Very well.
Did the company's registry ever receive information about these assets? Some were sold around 2019, 2020. So is this reflected on the register?
Basically, I have not came across anything in the database. In the current database we are using, there is no other filing beside the registration.
The former Attorney General had testified here, Mr. Abubakar Tambedu, and stated that there are these companies, the ones that had assets, a receiver was given instructions to liquidate these assets, and that the list of companies that were on the register was also forwarded to the registrar of companies for the completion of the liquidation process, which means that ordinarily these companies shouldn't have been found on the register.
Very well.
If that was done.
Yes, if that was done. But basically, you also see today that some of the companies, they were registered during the manual system.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, but after they were registered through the manual system, when this new system was developed, they shouldn't they have been migrated?
Yeah, basically, at the time this single window came into existence, some of the companies were being migrated. That is why when you look at some of the company analysis report, all what you see is a skeleton to show you that this company was incorporated on this day or so with incorporation number. But beside that, there is no other information because those ones were migrated. With the exception of those that were registered from 2014 upwards.
So is it that companies registered before 2014 have not been migrated into the system?
Not all. They started, but I believe the process was not finalized.
Who is they?
At the time, I think clerical staff were appointed to do that, but not everything has been completed.
To this date?
To this date.
So when you came in as a registrar of companies in 2023, you did not ensure that this process was completed?
Yes. Basically, this was the single window. I think it was a project under the World Bank. So that project phased out. So basically, when I came in, I did not. Because all the records, it's difficult to come across them. Because as I said, they were all mixed up together with records from the other departments. It was stored in the same archives. So when that archive was under renovation, the records were all mixed up.
You see, when you come here, you give the Ministry of Justice such a bad reputation.
I don't intend to, but that's how I
hope your AG is watching you.
So basically, what do I say?
Well, I don't know, but
I'm just telling the truth. So
you
may me sworn to an oath to say I should abide by nothing but the truth. So I'm just saying the truth.
We appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on. Let me just ask before the companies, the list of companies. So when a company is liquidated, it is struck out of the
register.
So if anybody ever wants to do a search to look into the background of said company, they are not going to find it.
Usually, if it's struck off in our database, there is a profile where you see list of companies struck off.
Okay.
Yes.
So it will still be on the register, but in a different category.
In a different category.
Okay.
Separate from the.
Understood. So you said you have your copies.
Yes, I have.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's go to Quora Media Corporation.
Sorry, give me 1 minute.
Can you afford members with that copy that they are using?
Yes.
You do not have a copy. Do you have copies?
We do. You have it open?
Yes, I have a copy of the company analysis report.
Yes, that's what I'm looking at as well.
Okay.
Can you just explain to us what is on this document, and also that if this company been liquidated, what would the company analysis report look? What would it have looked like? Would it look like the same and just have a line that will say that it's liquidated? What will the analysis report entail?
Okay, basically the reason why sometimes when people request for a search or for a copy of with respect to a company site or business, the reason why we print out a copy of the analysis report is because, let's say, for instance, there has been a filing, but there has been no further subsequent filing. All that was done is just the registration. So it's easier to get the details of everything in a company analysis report. But when there are other subsequent filings, usually if it's in the case of a search, we have to prepare a written report, because otherwise you cannot get the current shareholders and the directors if they are different from.
So what is the current status of Quora Media Corporation?
Quora Media Corporation, basically when I conducted a search, all I came across was that the company was incorporated in 2015. And beside that, the only thing they did was they filed their returns in 2017. That's the only thing in the database.
That's it, but it's still on the register.
It's still on the, yes.
So we can say it's still a company that is still existing.
Yes. Although currently we are working on trying to strike out some of the companies that have not been filing their returns as required.
Okay.
Yes.
How would that work? Would you contact maybe the shareholders?
Yep.
Or to see what is happening? How do you ensure that these companies are still not in operation?
Basically, what we do is most of the time we write to them and then give them a grace period. In the event we do not hear from them, then we send a subsequent reminder. And when they fail to, we will include the name on the list. But once we do that too, we have to, we will gazette, and we may also use two or one of the newspapers for listing.
For notification.
For notification, yes.
Okay. What about green industries?
Green industries. Sorry, I refer to the list to be able to. Green industries. 17. Green Industries is a company that was incorporated under the 1955 Companies Act. It was incorporated on the 12th day of May 2007. And the shareholders at the time, from what I extracted from this report, it's the Gambia government, Kanilai Family Farms, and one Sheriff Nyang. They were the shareholders.
Okay, and what is the current status of this company on in the register?
In the register, it has not been struck out.
It has not been struck out. Okay. We can go to Africada Microfinance Gambia Limited.
Africana Microfinance. Okay, this is a company that was incorporated in year 2014.
Okay.
But prior to this, that was not the first name. Sorry.
Yes, you can. Please turn off your mic.
Okay.
If you need to get information about that company, we can go to the and then come back.
No, basically what I was trying to say is the company was incorporated in 2014.
Okay.
Then subsequently in year 2015, they filed for a change of name. That's what I wanted to confirm.
Okay, okay.
And then thereafter, the other filing that took place was with respect to filing of annual returns in year 2017. But the company is still in our records.
It's still in the record.
Yes.
Can we move forward?
Okay.
Kanilai Family Farms.
Okay. Kanilai Family Farms
Yes.
was also a company that was incorporated under the 1955 Companies Act. Date of incorporation is 14th of October 1998.
Are we looking at the same document? Speak into the mic, please.
The documentations with respect to Kanilai Farms were the ones I last submitted.
Yes, I'm looking at it. I'm also looking at the memos and articles. In the company analysis report,
Yeah.
date of incorporation is 13th of October 2015. Please wait. Let us replace your mic. It seems it's the mic, not you. It's on.
Yes.
Yes. So my question was, the date on the company analysis report I am holding here is 13th of October 2015, but you're stating that the registration was done initially in 1998.
That's the date of incorporation.
Why does it have two dates of incorporation?
Yes. The reason being that companies were registered during the manual system. After the establishment of the single window, they were required to come forward and then re-register.
Okay.
Yes, so that is why that 2015 is reflecting there instead of 1998. This after the certificate of incorporation of the manual registration of Kanilai Farms.
Okay.
Yes.
You mean the memos and articles? That's fine.
Yes, I submitted the initial memorandum and then the amended one.
Okay.
As well.
What is this?
Sorry,
Current
not the amended. This one,
the initial one.
the initial one, now its records cannot be found in the current system except maybe in the historical records, and all what it gives you is this thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the current status of this company?
It's not been struck out.
It's still on the
It's still,
register.
yes, in the register.
Okay.
Beside the incorporation, Kanilai Farm, they've never filed their returns
They've never filed return
since after 2015.
after 2015. Okay. And Sindola Safari Lodge Limited.
Sindola 2 was registered under the then 1955 Companies Act,
Okay.
incorporated on the 27th day of April 2010.
All right. Surprisingly, or maybe this would not be surprising to you, but surprisingly to me, there isn't any information on this company analysis report apart from the TIN and date of incorporation and name of the company.
Yes, these are
Unlike others that has the name of the class of shares, name of shareholders, company secretary, company directors. This one does not contain that information.
okay. From what I stated earlier on, like some of the companies that, let's say, its records cannot be traced in the current system, you can get it from the historical records, that is the e-report. So usually when you log into it and then you enter the company's name, that's the only thing it gives you, that's the skeletal report. And all what it states is the date of incorporation and the TIN number. Besides that, there is no information with respect to the directors, the shareholders, the secretary, etc.
So do we say we don't know the current status of this company?
Yes. Because this I got from the cabins. I was able to extract this.
What you have?
Yes, what I have.
Okay, so why didn't you give me what you
I
have?
submitted. It's part of the additional documents I submitted. It's Kanilai Farms, KGI International, and Sindola. These were the 3 additional documents alongside with the communications from the Janet Commission.
Okay. So what is the current status of this company?
This one does not even exist in the records.
It does not exist in the record.
Yes.
What about when you search on the part of your system that the liquidated companies are listed? Did you do that to see whether it's part of the liquidated company?
Because you don't even see the name in the records.
At all?
At all.
Very well. Well, how come your system is able to have date of incorporation and TIN number?
Date of incorporation and TIN number.
Yes.
Because it's one of the companies, during the course of migration, this company was one of them. That's why you are able to get the date of incorporation and the number.
But from submitted documents, you can find name.
The certificate of incorporation number is 85 of 2010.
No, what I was saying is that from the additional documents, the shareholders are listed. So how come your system does not reflect that?
Because this company was not registered during it was not registered under the single window.
But there are others that were not registered during the single window, but...
Which ones?
Kanilai Family Farm.
Kanilai Family Farms.
Yes, and you've provided the names of the shareholders. Your system was able to reflect that.
No, Kanilai Farms was subsequently re-registered in 2015.
Registered again?
Yes, again in 2015.
So if it's not registered again, you will not get the initiative?
No.
I see.
But then from Sindola, from the MEMAT, you'll be able to deduce who the shareholders are.
Of course. Let's move on. Dunwich Oil Company Limited.
Same applies to Gunvege.
The same applies to Gunvege, no
It was
information.
incorporated under the 1955 Companies Act.
Okay, and there's no information that the company has been liquidated or not?
Basically, no.
Very well. This one is not a company. It's a charity organization. President's Empowerment of Girls Education Project.
Same applies to PEGEP. It was also registered under the then 1955 Companies Act. So its constitution cannot be traced.
Jame Foundation for Peace Hospital.
Same applies to Jame Foundation.
Kanilai Group International.
Kanilai Group
International.
Is it Kanilai Group or Kanilai Investment?
Kanilai Group International. KGI.
Oh, okay. KGI 2 is similar to Kanilai Wuni Farms. It was incorporated under the then 1955 Companies Act. Date of incorporation is 26th of April 2010. And the shareholders at the time were Kanilai Wuni Farms and Zainab Yaya Jami.
Okay.
And then it was subsequently also registered under the current single window in 2015.
And its current status?
It has not been known of.
Okay. Palm Grove Africa Development Corporation.
2015, Mbana. Farm Group is a company that was incorporated in 2015, and the shareholders are Ibrahim Sanyang and Ansumani Jambi.
What is the current status of the company?
It has not been struck off.
Okay, it's still on the register.
Still, yes.
Royal Africa Securities Brokerage Company, Gambia Limited.
Number 12. Okay, this company was equally incorporated in 2015.
In 2015? Okay.
And the shareholders are Ansumana and Ibrahim, as per our records.
Current status still registered under the, still existing under the
single window.
Okay. Mineral Company of the Gambia Limited.
It was incorporated in 2015. The shareholders as per the company analysis report, the names of the shareholders it portrays is Ansumana Jame and one Anthony B.M. Panetta.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the current status of the company?
It still exists in our record.
BPI Tourism and Services Company Limited.
BPI. For BPI, the records does not exist.
I'm holding a copy of your analysis.
Yes, only for the skeletal analysis, but the records.
Sorry, Miss.
Sorry. I have one of the correspondence emanating from the then Commission of Inquiry. What I gathered from there is that BPI Tourism and Service Limited was incorporated, was registered in the Gambia. The shareholders then were BP Investment Group, FZE, a company that was registered in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And then the other shareholders is one Dragos, Andrea Buzani, no, I don't know.
Okay, and what is the current status of this company?
I said its records does not exist.
It does not exist, but the analysis report does show that looks very similar to the other ones.
Yes, because it's extracted from e-report.
From the e-report,
yeah,
and not from the system.
It basically in the system, but it's in, when you look at the profiling, you have all cases, you have e-report, and then you have e-analysis. Depending on, that's the way our system is structured.
So if this company has been liquidated, your system would not be able to tell us?
I'm not in a position to tell.
And no filings have been done?
None.
Especially between 2019 to date?
Under the single window, it does not exist, except from e-registry.
So therefore, you wouldn't, the registrar of companies wouldn't know
Yes.
whether this company is in active business.
Yes.
So before I move on to the others on that you've provided for, in an event where any of these companies are in business but have not filed any returns, there is no other way the registrar of companies can find out about the status of these companies. You rely solely on
What exists in our database.
no, let me finish what I'm saying. You rely solely on these companies, their shareholders or their officers coming to file return.
Yes.
If no returns are filed, there's no way the registrar of companies can find out what these companies are doing.
Basically, that's one of our challenge because there are some corporations or entities that are in existence and are operating. But because they are not registered when the was in the window, we cannot know whether they are operation or not. Most of the time, we are already operating. Maybe also unless maybe they require something, either from the branch or from, let's say, GPPA, if it has something to do with procurement, and then they are obliged to come back to us. That's the time we actually get to know that this that particular corporation or entity is in existence. It's one of our challenges.
Okay. And you cannot work with other government departments or agencies to be able to find out what these companies are doing. GRA, for example.
Basically, when you look at the single window, if you look at the single window establishment, it was supposed to be a one-stop thing, whereby GRA, Ministry of Justice, the municipality, together with Social Security, we work hand in glove. But that's not the case. It's like everyone is working on we are working in isolation. So sometimes these are the challenges we have. Sometimes other people are paying tax to GRA when they're not filing their returns with us. Sometimes it's only when we go for an inspection or sometimes when we are passing by, we get to notice, maybe we see a signboard, like always I and Alassane. We don't even waste time. Even when we are in a vehicle, we take note of the company and come back, look at our records, then sometimes we have to write to them or call them if we can get their contacts to tell them you are obliged to do this and that, otherwise sanctions will be taken against you.
That's very proactive. All right. So I think you agree with me that your department and the Ministry of Justice as a whole has a lot of work to do.
Basically, very well.
When it comes to this area. Well, let's move on to West Africa Resource Development and Marketing Corporation Limited.
Okay, this company was incorporated in 2014.
Okay. Have you found it? Maybe we can move on to another company and then you can come back to that one.
Okay.
And your deputy can help you find it. So let's move on. Operation Save the Children Foundation. Yes. Yes, it is. Please turn on your mic.
That one is a charitable organization, and if I could remember,
Yes.
I think I was able to come across the
Okay.
copy of the Constitution, which I submitted.
Yes, but is it still registered as a charitable organization?
Yes.
Okay. From our request, we did include the Observer Company, Gambia Limited.
Yes. In the case of Observer Company, Gambia Limited, its records cannot be traced. This was a company that was incorporated in 2006. It was during the annual registration system process.
That's fine. From the records received by this committee, this company was already going through a liquidation process before the Commission of Inquiry was established.
Okay.
Maybe that's why it's so. But your records should be able to show that it's a liquidated company, no?
The records cannot even be traced.
Cannot be traced at all. Okay. Westwood Gambia Limited.
Same applies to Westwood. The records cannot be traced, but
Okay.
from one of the correspondents from the then Commission of Inquiry, what I saw was the shareholders at the time is that BP Investment Group, FZA, that's the foreign company registered in Dubai.
Yes.
And Kanilai Family Farms.
Okay.
Yeah. As the shareholders.
And the current status?
The records are not in our database currently.
So this company does not exist on the register?
No.
Westwood?
Westwood, no. There is another Westwood, but it's not the same as this one.
Okay.
Yes. It's a similar company with a similar name, but it's different. It's a different company.
So there's another Westwood listed on the register, different from Westwood Gambia Limited?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, let me see. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
West. Someone. Or can we possibly come back to it?
Right, let's set it aside and then we move on to another company, then we can come back to it. Let's go to the Atlantic Pelican Gambia Limited.
Atlantic Pelican Gambia Limited.
Yeah.
This particular company was incorporated in 2014.
Okay.
And then they filed their returns in 2017. The shareholders are Ibrahim Sanyang and Ansumana Jammeh.
Current status of the company on the
It
register?
still remains in our records.
Okay. Patriot Insurance Brokers Company Limited.
This company was first incorporated in 2011 and subsequently re-registered in 2014.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the current status of the company
The record
under the register?
It still exists.
It still exists. Okay. Royal Africa Capital Holdings Limited.
Sorry, Royal?
Royal Africa Capital Holdings Limited.
This company was incorporated in 2014, and the shareholders are Ansumana Jammeh and Ibrahim Sanya.
Current status?
Exists, even existence.
African Airways.
Africana Airways was incorporated in 2015. Limited.
Have you found it?
Sorry, Africana.
Airways.
Yes, it was incorporated in 2015.
In 2015.
Yes.
And what is the current status of the company?
It's still in existence.
Okay. Africana Financial Services and Bureau de Change Limited.
This company was incorporated in year 2014.
Current status?
It exists. Shareholders Ibrahim and Ansuman.
Okay. Africana Insurance Company Limited.
Africana Insurance
Company Limited.
It was incorporated in 2016.
Current status?
It exists.
West African Resource Development and Marketing Corporation Limited.
This company was incorporated in 2014.
Okay.
The company still exists as per our records.
Okay. Have you found the information regarding Westwood?
Yes.
In your register, how many Westwood companies are listed? How many companies named Westwood are listed?
Westwood, sorry, it was a slip of the tongue. It's actually registered. It's incorporated in 2016. The other one is Westwood Group Limited. That's
So the one I have here is Westwood Gambia Limited.
Yes, it exists from
Incorporated one?
in 2016.
The Gambia Limited.
Yes,
I have 2014 here.
20.
From the company analysis report that you have submitted to this committee.
Westwood, then maybe
Westwood in bracket Gambia
let me check
Limited.
whether I've not given the, maybe I mistakenly used the other one.
Okay, please.
Right. Sorry, the 2016 applies to the Westwood Group Limited.
Westwood Group Limited.
Yes, let me carefully look at this other one. Westwood Gambia Limited. Yes, Westwood Gambia Limited was incorporated in 2014.
What is the current status of the company under the register?
It exists.
It still exists.
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Gomez, according to the summons we have sent you, you have provided some information with regards to the companies listed in the summons.
Yes, very well.
Okay. And majority of these companies are still on the, they're still listed on the register.
Yes.
even though, according to the testimony of Mr. Tambadu, these companies were liquidated and struck off the record. So it is surprising that these companies are still existing on the record. And I will leave that to the committee when it concludes its work and prepares its report on that issue. However, as the registrar of companies, you've been in this position for almost 2 years or 2 years?
1 year.
When were you appointed?
I was appointed July 2024.
July 2024.
Prior to that, I was acting, overseeing.
Okay, but so we're going to say you were registrar of companies for 2 years?
Yes, basically.
Yes, so for 2 years, you've seen these companies in your register. In the records, no filings have been done because you've said earlier this morning that when you searched, in doing your search, you've noticed that these companies have not filed any returns. They've not filed any documents with the registrar of companies since 2017. Some in 2015, others in 2017.
Yes.
But from then on, no other updates were received from these companies. And that's been a long time. And as someone that is the registrar of companies for 2 years, seeing these companies on your register, I am of the opinion and belief that you should have looked, especially knowing these companies are all associated with the former president and his associates. You could have spoken to your minister or Solicitor General about it and then do something rather than have these companies still on the register. You could have worked with your ministry to ensure that the recommendations of the commission were carried out. Or if they were, because some of the assets of some of these companies have been sold already, so you should have been able to do that. 2 years is quite a while. However, again, like I said, I will leave that to the committee. Honorable Chair, that's all the questions I have for the witness for the time being.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this point, members of the committee can intervene?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, can we give floor to Honorable Ture?
Yes, thank you very much. I have just a few questions. My first question is, you always talk about this single window. It looks like one of the first stages of registration. One is one step, but then after a while, you call digitalize them. And then you could not capture certain companies in a single window. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, prior to the digitalization, we were operating, the company's registry was operating on a manual system.
Yes.
So when the single window business registry was established in 2014,
Yeah.
some of the companies were migrated, but not everything. Then some of the companies that are still in operation came back and they registered. That's why sometimes you see where a company can have both 2 certificates. The one was issued during the manual registration system and the current one under the single window.
Yeah. So if any company is not registered on the single window, you must talk with those companies. Is that what you are saying?
Yes, because most of the time it's difficult for us to ascertain whether they are in existence or not, except unless and until maybe they are in need of a document or they are required to file a process. So normally when they come over and we notice it, that's the time we call on them to put their house in order.
Okay.
We make sure they regularize their status before their application is granted.
Yeah. So we have most of these companies that you are talking about were incorporated in before 2017.
Yes, some of them before 2017.
So from 2017 to date, it looks like from 2017 to date, do you see there's some of those shareholders approaching for any journals? Do they approach you at all?
Basically, there is this correspondence that was addressed to the Honorable Minister.
Yeah.
It emanated from Ibrahim Sanya.
Yes.
So, where it is titled Re-Jane Commission, No Adverse Findings, where he listed some of the companies and then requesting if a letter could be written to whosoever is concerned to convey the outcome of the Commission's report with respect to their findings against his companies. Yes. So far, that's the only one. But so far, no one has approached us so far in between, except.
The Commission has recommended that some of these companies be liquidated.
Yeah.
Liquidated. Is that what you are saying?
Well, liquidated because they still exist in our records. Yes, although I was made to understand that there was a private practitioner who approached our office in KM through my deputy regarding some of these companies, and it's the same Ibrahim Sanya.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
not long ago.
So the company is operating and it's supposed to be liquidated, but it's not liquidated. It's still operating. What more do in that regard?
Well, basically, you will consider the company to be, like, let's say, defunct. But we are not sure whether it's operating or not. But with respect to some of the companies like Kanilai, we all know they are not operating any longer.
What KGI?
KGI.
What about Sindola? Is Sindola operating?
Sindola, well, one point,
That's the one that's operating.
Sindola,
Status about Sindola is not moved.
Sindola actually, yes. They are not on the single window. Their records cannot be found. Because I think they are operating under receivership.
I believe Sindola is operating. So they are not liquidated.
They are not liquidated per se.
But they are supposed to be liquidated.
If that is one of the recommendations of the Commission, then they are supposed to be liquidated. But that step has not been taken.
And it's not our office that should trigger the liquidation.
Well, from here we will work on doing that.
We will work on it from now.
Yes.
My last question is, how you play your role when you don't have the companies, you don't have the records of companies, and it is your responsibility to keep records. But you are saying you could not see some of these records. So how you look at your record? You have registration of companies, you have registration of companies, partnerships, businesses, and associations. So you are saying you also act as custodian of records and auditors compliance with statutory obligations of the Companies Act and foreign building. So that is why even though we are going and keeping these records, we still have those records. So if you are that's why you stipulate in your statement. How would you play that role?
Sorry, Honorable. Not that the records may not exist, but the problem is our archive, at one time it was leaking. So some of the documents are partly, they are somehow in disarray, others are spoiled, and then the way the place is at the current status, that's the challenge. But we've started working on trying to reorganize and put our house in order. We've started. The place at one time was leaking, and it's.
For me, I see your role is a very important role to keep records and keep monitoring the records and all these things. These are about companies, and this is the key to the economy of this country. But then we see a leak is taking place, and things are being crumpled up, and some are being soaked. But we don't keep one there like that. We want to just go with the wrong. That's what I cannot understand. I don't want to come on records. But what we can say that this is a very serious matter that you are mentioning.
Well, it's a serious matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your concerns are noted. We work on remedying the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. And thank you very much, Madam. I think my question is along the same lines with Honorable Ture. Because we are really very concerned about some of these documents that are unable to be traced. Because this could be, I can call it a national disaster, actually. Because companies register legally to operate in this country. And when if there's any legal implication that somebody would have to go to find out exactly who are these people, but yet still a register of companies unable to trace them, that could pose a very serious matter to us as a country. Now, I would like to know exactly at this stage, since you are the head of the institution, what mechanisms do you have in place at this moment to ensure that at least there is something in place to allow the institution to be able to operate, particularly to get those companies that are not part of the single window, at least to ensure that when questions are asked from whatever, then you are able to give the exact information. What exactly are you doing at this stage to resolve those issues?
Currently, the office is working on trying to, with respect to proper filing of records, and secondly, they are working on the roofing, because that's where the problem lies, the roofing and the like. And also, post-TRL unit is also helping. So we are waiting they're trying to assist us. They've ordered some things that are needed with respect to our records for us to be able to better filing processes. Currently, we are working on it.
Yes. So would you confirm that your current archiving system also is manual?
Our current
archiving system is also manual? Because prior to the single window, everything was manual. So it means also your archiving system at this stage is also manual.
Basically, besides sole proprietorship businesses, every other application is, once it is brought to us for filing or for registration, we're supposed to scan and upload it in the system, so that in the event you can't lay hand on the physical copy, then automatically you'll be able to print it out. Because most of the searches, when they request for it, we print it out from the database. But where the records cannot be traced in the database, that's where the challenge lies. You realize we are not in a position to provide it to maybe the person request.
Yes. So once, let's say I come to your office and then register a company, let's say tomorrow, and I provide all the necessary documentations that you keep. After everything is scanned and put in the system, what do you do with the physical copies? Do you also file them separately, or what do you do with them?
Basically, they're supposed to be filed.
When you say they, who do you mean?
It's supposed to be filed.
It's supposed to be filed. Okay.
Yes, by the staff of the company's department.
Okay.
Yes, but then also, I can say for the past 2 years since when I've been there is no records officer. There is no records officer. We've requested for it. Even when we went to bilateral at PMO, we requested for it. We don't even have a records officer.
So that means now if you have any system issue where you're unable to search from the system about a particular company, then going back to the manual records could pose a very serious challenge at this stage.
Indeed.
All right. Mr. Chair, I think I'll stop there for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I will join Robert Floor. Yes. Registrar of Criminals, just to remind this is a fact-finding committee, and with my little understanding, you seems to be creating more of a confusion than clarity in terms of what we are supposed to do, more especially with the liquidation of companies. With my understanding, I think you were supposed to liquidate 28 companies. Am I right or wrong?
Based on the list that was...
Based on the order, yes. I heard you saying 28 companies in between you and the council as well.
Was as per the summons, it was a request for summons to produce.
To produce?
Yes.
Then where does the 28 companies emerge from? Have you reflected on the court order? Or the order from the commission in terms of what was supposed to be liquidated?
Yes, it was something that was supposed to be implemented, but unfortunately...
How many companies were you supposed to liquidate? To be specific.
Sorry, Honorable. As per this list, or in total, you mean, from the findings of the commission?
In total, from the finding of the commission, because this is what our mandate is looking at.
Sorry, basically, I wouldn't know because I was not there at the time.
You were not there at the time.
Yes.
But does the office don't exist at the time?
The office existed.
So were you not able to track records of what you were supposed to do, or was that not part of the handing over?
Yes.
If I may ask, was there any handing over done to you?
Yes, it was.
You were not able to share that handing over note with us?
No problem. It was just in the form of an internal memo, but then the handing over, it details more of ongoing projects. There was nothing with respect to the of the Jana Commission.
Who did you take over from?
I took over from my senior,
Who specifically? I remember
Ali Jal.
You took over from Lejalo as a registrar of companies.
At the time, as acting registrar of companies, yes, before I was.
So when he was leaving, he didn't really, his haven't actually covered anything related to these specific companies.
Basically, no, because at the time, the issues of the commissions per se were determined, and then, well, it was not part of the handing over. But I still have the memo. I can look for it, and then I'll be able to...
Yeah, I will appreciate that you provide us with that.
No problem. I'll do so.
Please.
Yes, I'll do so. Most likely tomorrow. I will check for it, if possible.
Okay, we can progress.
No problem.
Yeah. And is it also correct to say this third company still belongs to Yaya Jammeh? Yes. What is available on your records? From a legal point of view, I mean.
Well, if you look at the list of companies, if you look at this list of companies, well, some of them, when you look at the shareholders, the shareholding structure, you realize the shareholders were Ibrahim and Sumana.
So, will I go back to say those companies in the name of Ansumana and Ibrahim, from a legal point of view, belongs to Ansumana and Ibrahim?
Well, we rely on what is on the document.
From a legal point of view, is it right to say
Yes.
the same companies belong to Ibrahim and Ansumana, yes or no?
Well, I rely on what is in the records.
Because I'm also,
On the records,
Yeah.
I think basically 10 of these companies, the shareholders are Ansumana and not all, I think 8 also.
so meaning the same 8 companies from a legal point of view continue to be owned by Ansumana and Ibrahim.
Yes.
Yes, right? Good. What do you think that could cost to the state, considering the fact that there were orders for this to be liquidated, and the still keys to remain in the name of Ansumana and Ibrahim? In case a legal suit is filed.
Against who?
Against the state.
Well, basically, if it was it was something that was recommended to be done, and that step has not been taken. But we've said all those issues you've raised are noted, and we will work towards.
You know, Madam, it's not about noting these issues. It's about looking at the magnitude of some of these issues. These are serious issues. Very, very serious issues that we cannot just brush and pass. And even after, let's say, 5 or 6 years, the issues persist to be the same. No efforts. It's like people occupying office, drinking coffee or tea without doing any work. No, no, serious, you are laughing, madam. I'm definitely serious, if I have to be honest with you.
Sorry to say, so we go to the office and drink tea.
That is what I was saying. If you have to sit in the office for 2 years without really doing what is expected of you as a company registrar.
But sorry, these things were not brought to my attention, even though steps were to be taken by the registrar. But at the time, I was not there. But
Hold on. If you said these things were not brought to your attention, what was brought to your attention in relation to Joint Commission investigations outcome? What was specifically brought to your attention when you took over that office in relation to the outcome of Joint Commission, more specifically on the recommendation with regards to companies? I think I want to be clear on this.
to be candid, since I took over, I have not received any instruction with respect to these companies and entities highlighted in this summons.
You have another background.
Of course, I do.
No? Was it not also your responsibility to direct yourself to some of these documents for better understanding and also to enhance that you take the right decisions? Was that not right to do? The head of that office.
Well, since you said we go there to drink tea, you are entitled
No,
to
no,
opinion.
I said, okay, I read the statement.
No problem.
I read the statement and said, they are really working. Fact of the matter still remains the same. We can really trace all of those efforts that you were claiming.
Okay, basically, that's an issue. But
What is an issue here? We don't understand. What is an issue? I just want us to be specific in our
an
discussion.
issue as in, I'm admitting that the department or the institution failed to do so. But we will take it up from today to ensure that we put our house in order, to ensure all recommendations by the Janet Commission, which were addressed to the Registrar General, be implemented.
Now I'll go back to my initial question. 28 companies were meant to be deregistered or liquidated. How many out of those 28 were you able to liquidate?
None.
None. Now, there be any possibility that some of these companies may be still operating, but then registered on a different name?
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your, no, I don't know, because you have not been really doing your work.
No,
So, to be honest with
I
you,
admit.
you wouldn't know.
I admit, if that is your opinion.
No, my opinion. That is the facts
Okay,
before us.
no problem.
We cannot really compromise with the facts. We have to say them as they are. And it is you who can help us to provide that clarity. Because I wouldn't also be fair to allege against you. As I said, it's a fact.
You made your allegations.
I don't have an allegation. I feel that opinion based on, because you're sitting before me and telling me that there were 28 companies that were meant to be liquidated, and you haven't done with one. So you told in that office. And I am scared of the fact that the Ministry of Justice has a legal mandate to advise the leadership of the state. So if that specific institution or ministry is not executing their duties, what signal are we sending out there? What are we telling the ordinary public servant?
Efforts have been made. We will work towards it.
Efforts are already been made. You are going to make efforts henceforth.
Okay, I will.
We can progress. Now, when my father was appointed, we were able to trace his notification to inform the office as prescribed in the Companies Act that he was appointed as a receiver.
Like, if you were following my testimony, the notification letter regarding the appointment of the receiver, these were the additional document I was able to retrieve from the cabinet. That is with respect to the correspondence emanating from the then receiver. That is where I saw it. But beside that, there is no filing in the system.
My question is, do you receive a notification letter
For sure,
as per the appointment of a receiver?
for sure.
From who exactly?
From the receiver himself.
Not the receiver. You know, whatever receivers. There were about two also receivers.
Augustus Pro.
Augustus Prom.
Yes.
What about Alpha Capital?
No, Alpha Capital, I have not came across any
You have not came across any.
from.
I have made any efforts to follow with him, understanding that it is a legal requirement a receiver to notify your office about his or her appointment. Because I think I read the Companies Act here, Section 466.
Yes, I did.
And one of the provisions specifically requires for a receiver to notify the office of the registrar? And where is it that you never follow up with Alpha Capital to notify your office?
Sorry, Honorable, but at the time I was not there.
It's not about at the time I was not there. It's about the time the office exists. It's referred to as the office of the Registrar of Companies.
For sure.
As such, if such communications are available, one would expect such a letter to be in the files. Does any file exist for Alpha Capital in your office?
I believe there will be one admin records.
That would in fact lead me to ask you, what is his legal status in terms of registration?
Who?
Alpha Capital.
Sorry, what do you mean?
What do I mean? Where is he registered? Is it a share of the company or?
Alpha Capital, well,
Guide us through, please.
Alpha Capital, basically, I've not seen any, well, I can't tell, but the other time, when yeah.
What I was like, Alpha Capital as a company, it's not our system.
Sorry, just give me 1 second, let me confirm. With that title, sorry, let me just confirm. Well, I just logged into all cases. I've entered the entity name Alpha Capital. There is nothing showing.
So,
I don't know, maybe he has an other name. The capital, is it C-O-K? K, okay. Okay, sorry. If it's K, that is Alpha Capital Advisory LP. It's a limited partnership.
with Alpha Capital.
Yeah, from the partnership name, Alpha Capital. It's a limited partnership.
What is this partner there?
Let me see. So, can you give me a second? Sure.
Yes. Please share with us. Yes.
The partners are Alpha Amadou Bari and Abdullah Bari.
A very last one about him. Where else did he file his tax returns?
From the look of things, well, it would appear that he has not been filing his returns. Because I have been searching for him, but the top usually I use C instead of T. So that's why I was not able to figure it out.
What do you say there? C or K?
In the usually I was thinking that it's C, as in capital,
Okay.
not knowing that it's K.
Yeah, it's
But
K.
from the look of things,
He has not been filing his tax
he
return.
has not been filing his tax return.
All right, we want to
I
understand.
thought he has not been filing his tax returns as part of what is here.
When did you come to realize this?
I just saying this, not really giving me to say I should check the scene. Okay, I was using
One of the custodian of that matter. And so now I'm for guiding you. No speaking, don't worry.
it's a good system. Look at the knowledge of the work too. Like you just cannot be able to tell this company is filing its returns or not. Most of the time, it's when they come to, let's say, for a particular filing, then that's the time maybe you have to log into the system, and then you can be able to determine whether this company is actually in operation or not.
So as per the records that exist, Alpha Capital have not been filing his tax returns.
From what is here, definitely.
I definitely conclude.
Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
Yes. Committee on the requirements to change the name of a company. I don't know we did with the council, but I will appreciate if you can know on what it takes to actually change a name of a company.
Okay. Basically, once a company is registered and let's say it's incorporated, and you want to do any subsequent changes or filing, with respect to change of a name, you're supposed to present a board resolution. In addition to the board resolution, you'll be required to do a new name reservation because the name automatically is different from the initial name that was registered. So you have to do a new name reservation. Then you present a board resolution. Alongside, it depends on the subsequent amendment you want to do, especially with respect to a name which is so fundamental. It will require an amended memorandum, which you need to file alongside with the board resolution. And also, let's say, if there is any change of director or whatsoever, then you also present their identity documents. And pay the prescribed filing fee.
Okay, that is clear. And also, as part of your intent to improve on the record taking and also avail us with the available records, I just want to apply. If you can provide us with the amended articles and memorandum of association of only 20 companies that were recommended by the Ghana Commission for you to liquidate.
Sorry, I don't understand. Can you repeat, please?
You have 28 companies.
Not all companies. Some are associated, some are charitable organizations.
Okay, now, how many are companies out of that 28?
Out of this 28, 21, 22, 23, basically.
23
Yes,
are companies.
yes. But out of the 28, two have appeared. One of it has appeared twice. It's repeated. That's PEGET.
That's present.
Yeah, President's Empowerment for girls' education.
I don't know it's a foundation instead of a company.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when it's registered, the certificate bears charitable organization.
Charitable organization instead of a company.
Yes, it's not.
It has different.
Yes, because in the case of organizations, otherwise referred to as CAFOs or foundation, normally, if they want to register, they are required to present a constitution, not a memorandum and article.
They are required to submit a memorandum of understanding, right?
No. Memorandum of association.
Memorandum of association, right?
Yes, and articles of association.
So now, all those 23 companies, you should be in a position to provide us with the memorandum of association.
If they,
And if possible, the amended versions, if it exists.
Honorable, if these things existed, I would not have even hesitated or even waste a minute to submit them.
So, I don't exist.
Exist as in, I can't lay hand on them. I would have submitted. Why would I hesitate?
No, the fact of the matter is, for us, our expectation is the registrar of company would rather be in a position this
Of course.
documents. There's no excuse around it, considering the sensitivity of how the investigations actually happen. No? We're talking about the generational wealth or whatever.
That should have been.
Many institutions are telling us we cannot in fact trace what have had a bit of what has transpired over the past, just behind the line. Another final question.
Hope this one will be a take home, my ass lunch or.
You provide us with this, no one knows to go or not, because the memorandum of association, the article and memorandum of association, Chair, I want to apply, she provide us with it. If she's not in a position to go ahead and put it in, let her put it in writing that there is no way we can trace it.
Honorable, I think she made it clear that she cannot see them, she cannot lay her arms, and that is on record. So I will take her statement that this is what I requested, but she said she cannot find them. Then the question would then be with us.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just a final one. With all the companies you shared with us, in the list, does it include any mining company?
Mining.
Yes.
Well, usually I cannot tell. Maybe
That might belong to the former president or his associates.
basically the objects of the company, you can only be able to determine them from the memorandum or from the certificate of incorporation. So the
No, that's where the problem lies now. That is why it is of interest. No? For you to provide us
which is
with those relevant documents.
I really want to.
I definitely want to understand. If you start in that office, you will be lucky to find them. Because the excuses you gave was, no, that's the fact. The excuses you gave was, the fact that those documents were kept. There was no catch in them. Right?
And which is the case?
I can't analyze it.
Yes.
That's why I was calling in order to have those documents. No, this is not a serious issue. First action as concealment of documents. If I have to be honest with you.
Concealment of documents.
Yes.
God forbid.
Yes. They are not here with one succeeded or whatever. If you compare us now, we cannot learn the history of these companies.
Honorable, what benefit will I derive from that? Concealing evidence or whatsoever, knowing the nature of this commission and what your mandate is. What benefit will I derive from that?
No, of the commission. You have been in office for 12 years without an effort. the commission has recommended. I think you should learn from the commission. Because there's no instruction you have taken from the commission. I have been fair enough for you to provide us with these documents with all honesty.
If I'm in a position to do, I will definitely do so. And I will do my best. But in the event it is not seen, just as you stated, I'll put it on.
So now, I want to apply that with the companies that you have with you. That's 28 companies that the Ghana Commission instructed or authorized for your office to liquidate. You look at companies that were engaged in mining.
In mining?
Yes, and serve us with the name of those companies.
Okay.
And if they are registered, you tell us under whose name is the company registered to now.
Okay, it's an assignment. I'll take it
Yeah,
off.
because my understanding is some of these companies are operating in the name of different individuals, more especially with the mining companies.
Okay.
And those informations can be found in your records as per in whose name those companies are registered now.
Okay.
I will come back to you until you go and do your work and come back. Specifically the mining companies. Thank you, Chair.
Well, I will please take over the last bit, right? With specific reference to the miners, right? Council?
Yes. Sorry.
Right, we have Honorable Sal.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you, Madam. Thank you very much, Madam. Madam Gomez, huh?
Yeah.
On the question of your office, do you think that you are doing your job the way it should be?
Can I respond?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, from my own point of view, actually, we are doing our work. Although, let's say, much efforts or more work is required, actually, we are putting in our best efforts. Maybe we need to double up.
You need to double up based on the condition that you highlighted. Is it not your this thing, your ministry?
It's a collective role.
What is,
Yes.
what is your role to make it the way it should be?
Well, you know, certain things we cannot produce on our own. We need to demand for it, and then the office is also constrained.
Are you demanding?
We don't.
And what are the response? Madam,
Well, the next time,
Madam Gomez,
when he's aware,
just to help you here.
Okay,
Madam Gomez,
yeah.
you are here for a reason.
yes,
And in your interventions, you made it very clear that you have a problem to locate most of this file
very well,
because of the condition of your office.
which is true.
It's not a problem. Don't worry. I won't go and
You know, go to the office.
Which is true. It really constrains us from executing our duties as expected.
They ask from you.
You're right.
Requesting the fulfill.
Okay. What? No.
Yeah, come on.
No, it's not been made. Was the last time our AG had to summon Ministry of Works. They came. Well, we are working on remedying the effects and the lapses here and there.
What companies are on the receivership? Do that someone very close to you? Or are they supposed to someone very close to you?
Basically, out of the 23 companies highlighted in this letter, it's only a few who have filed their returns up to 2017, and that was the last that they filed.
The current person now, someone on the receivership, are they supposed to file very close to you?
Well, if they are in operation, they're supposed to file.
In the case of someone who are in operation,
They've not been filed.
pardon?
They've not been filing.
And they are supposed to file.
They're supposed to file.
What should we do now?
Well, from here, we'll take it up with the management, and then, if possible, as we are working on the registering most of these companies, we will consider these companies listed in this summons.
How many are in operation now? Do you know how many companies are in operation?
Out of this list, I wouldn't know. Because none of them is filing their returns.
None of them is filing. But can you use the list to make a follow up to know what is their current situation?
Okay, we'll make use of our inspectors and see.
They know any of this, list to you that these people are operating, but they are not filing their report.
Sorry?
Based on your team.
Sorry?
You don't have to see that this company as operating.
No. Normally, when we receive any information, we make sure we send our inspectors to go on ground and then inspect or, let's say, confirm.
So now, the court order from the information. What specifically, what you are supposed to do in the office?
Based on the court order
Yes.
to wind up,
Yes.
we're supposed to have them struck off the register.
But did you do that?
No, we did not.
Why?
Well, I wouldn't say I was not there at the time, but even though it also is also part of our mandate, we'll work towards it.
You will work towards it.
Yes.
But currently you feel in your responsibility as an office.
Because well,
But else,
We want an answer, Madam Therese. You just shake your hand. Mike will not pick that. What's your answer to that question?
that we failed. Yeah, if it was a task that was mandated on us to do and which we have not done, then we have failed. But then efforts will be made to still regularize, and we will do so. Yes,
You know, very important.
it is indeed.
And then if you look at the workers are doing, it's like the residents are working within the office. And then the responsibilities are given,
It's not
the
good.
office now acting on it. The issue of the court are to say this to happen, you to stop this from operating. Next thing what action was taken. Now you can do better. It's better for you to act
We will.
because you are currently operating the function as the register of companies.
We will. And we will
So-
definitely endeavor to do so.
We have we don't have from you. Currently, your organization is selling bonus system that is currently in operation. We have to become the same window for the GRA. Because I'm saying that you cannot find who registered, who's supposed to come back to you because they are doing things on their own. So now, is it that you come together for one or what?
Basically, we were supposed to work hand in glove, all these institutions, the Ministry of Justice, that is the Department of Companies, GRA, municipalities, and Social Security. We're supposed to work together. In fact, even this issue of issuing out trade license, this was supposed to be done by the registered companies on behalf of the entities, that's the municipality. But this is not taking place.
Why?
Maybe because of challenges here and there.
From your office?
Well, I think maybe that collaboration and this thing is not there.
So who will take the lead now?
We need to.
Who will take the lead?
We will do our best.
Huh?
We will do our best.
Who should take the lead? Is it your office or the ministry?
Maybe it should be initiated by us through the ministry.
By you. So what is your promise now? From today, will you take it from there?
We will try our level best to make sure things improve.
Madam Gomez, it seems you're trying to use a legal term, trying to run away from responsibilities.
Sorry, not
It's
that
your
very
responsibility,
good.
isn't it?
It is indeed.
Because you're currently doing a lot. How many things you are doing the way it should be? Where are you going today?
Which is true.
We are doing all what we need from you. But now we're asking you questions, we're getting documents from you, and you cannot produce by you.
Which is
So
true.
you take your life to produce your documents. But how do you have a proper filing? You have a proper office. You have a house, you have everybody from say, hey, it's here.
Which is true.
So what efforts are you putting in place to make it possible?
We are currently working on our archive.
I think you have a lot to do.
We will.
You
Indeed.
double up with your team to see what is possible and then get us what we definitely require from you.
No problem.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Honorable Shaw. Just now, too. Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, first the witness has said that she would make effort to find out the status of these companies. Is it 23 or 22 companies? That should allow her to make that effort, but they should give a time frame when she should get back to us and tell us the fruits of that effort. I think if we give about a month for her to do all her consultation, whatever, about these companies, and come back to us and tell us what her findings are.
So, Honorable, but I submitted some. Not all of them are in question. Okay. Sorry.
I am of the opinion that 1 month. Okay, yeah, I'm saying 1 month is too long, which is suggested by the honorable member. I think you're in your office is an ongoing thing. Perhaps, in fact, when he started, I was thinking maybe 4 days. But since he has come up with a whole month, we'll give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks is enough. Because this is your second appearance. The last time you came here was months ago. So I think 2 weeks, yes, you can have.
For safety and health reasons, if you see the place where those documents are filed, or you don't want me to appear again. Not to appear, let's say to leave. Because even for health reasons.
You know, unfortunately, that's the dilemma of the job, because the woman have asked me to do it because I'm not in your position. Because that's a national power, and we want these facts to be unveiled. In as much as you want to put your life to risk, but you are the only living person that can produce these things. And what you have done is not physical alone. You have a whole thing to help, whole history. The fact that one is not the power, one is not the contentious position. The problem is you will produce it, is the power. There's not around, I was not around by the colleagues. What's your reaction to that? What is the answer? The protein is around, but we give it time. We have a difference. One thing, what is finished is a product roughly correctly for 20%. What about everything? You get about it. It's time.
Okay, I'll do my best. But make it a month, honorable, because I don't want to.
On the 6th, so how we can report? By the 5th of next month would be relevant. Right? Thank you.
But to everything, there should be an alternative. In the event it is not, then what do I still have to come back.
If you're free to bring the committee will decide. Members, any more clarity? Okay. Council?
Yes, Honorable Chair. No, I do not have any more questions for the witness. However, I believe we would be closing today's hearings at this point. But before we do, perhaps we can give the witness an opportunity to make a few remarks before we close. If she wishes to make a few remarks. Ms. Gomez?
Can you be clear with this? If we say today is the end of our testimony, and if it clearly what document that she's supposed to bring, we should to say that, and then we close the whole day.
If she's presenting documents, she'll present to the clerk of the assembly.
Okay.
Yes, so she does not have to appear to present.
Okay.
You want, okay, no problem. Thank you.
So we are now on the list to go.
Thank you. No dinner, no lunch today.